Hello, everybody. This is Miss Lehcar here. I am happy to announce I will be doing a partnership coaching as the head coach with the Clutch Academy. I hope you all are having a wonderful time during the tournament. I am going to bring you guys a little breakdown here of how to run the flag correctly, or at least a good setup on Empyrean here, or as some of you may know it, the pit. This is with a 4-man team. Obviously, you need some good synergy and teamwork to pull this off, but this is going to be a good general idea for setups that you want to have. This is going to be specifically to pull the flag through the green hallway or the long hallway here, but we're going to be focusing mainly on the green hallway here. And you'll notice on the blue side here, the flag pull that we're going to be going for, I've labeled the majority of the spawns here, at least the major ones that you need to be concerned with. You're going to have their S1/courtyard spawn up here, labeled as number 1, their flag spawn labeled number 2, and their mauler spawn labeled number 3. So really, these red lines are going to be indicating where we're going to be pushing from, basically off of the start. Now, you don't need the power weapons to make this work. Of course, it makes it easier. And I'm going to basically be going over why in detail you need to be holding these positions, what they do, how you're blocking and influencing certain spawns. And then I'm going to jump into the game after and show you exactly how to do it. So starting off here, we're going to have one of your players break off from the main spawn. Obviously, if it's the beginning of the game, you're going to grab your snipe. If not, you're going to make your way straight through sword. This player's job is very important, okay? So not only are they coming to this sword side here, but their job is to watch for the spawners that are inevitably going to spawn here S1 courtyard. The other 3 players, you'll have maybe 1 or 2 push through the green hall here, of course, playing for rockets if it's up. Last person pushing through long hall here, grabbing assault rifles, stickies, whatever else you need. Once you have players in these positions here, you can start to think about a flag pull. Now, of course, best case scenario, you're going to be able to kill all 4 players, hopefully within a good amount of time next to each other so they're not all staggered off of their spawn. Let's say you get into this good position here. You get all 4 players dead on the other team, so things are looking great for you. When you have players relatively in this position, you're going to want one person in their side sword, either hugging this wall or somewhere around this area. Either way, you need one of these walls, and I'll explain why in just a minute. You're going to have 2 players in close to their green box here, and 1 or 2 players also pushing through the long. And so the idea is that you're going to have 2 players here push together through this mauler side, through the needle side, into their first and go for the flag pull. So generally what we're going to do is we're going to keep this number 6 player here watching for spawners. In these positions right here, you are actually going to be blocking the number 2 and the number 3 spawn here, which is what we're going for. We're trying to block this whole half of the map here and spawn them out here over in the S1 courtyard spawn, right? This is the idea that we're going for. So we're going to send number 7 and number 8 through this side of the map, playing for their first BR here to hopefully be able to grab the map without taking too much damage here. Of course, ideally you've killed them, they're respawning S1, so there shouldn't be much resistance. If there's nobody in their flag, this number 8 player can actually stay back and doesn't need to really push up to help the flag guy at all. But let's say everything's going perfectly, going to plan. This number 5 player's job is very important because if he oversteps this boundary, if he actually visually stares at the S1 spawn here, what he'll do is he'll actually block this S1 courtyard spawn. And if you're close enough to this 3 spawn, the mauler spawn, you'll end up blocking all 3 of these major spawn points at once, and you'll force the enemy team to spawn in their emergency spawn, which is this little yellow box here. They will spawn bottom runway underneath you on their side sword, which allows them to quickly and easily just overextend to your side through runway and beat you to your side as you're trying to run the flag. So obviously we don't want that, right? So this number 5 player here inside their sword has to be very careful, checking their scoreboard, making sure that he's not challenging this S1 courtyard until all 4 players, or at least the majority of them, have spawned already and we got the flag moving. So this player is staying still, waiting for these players to move up, waiting for them to spawn, making sure that he's not blocking or influencing that spawn. Now, of course, the number 5 player can re-challenge once he knows it's safe to do so. Number 6 player needs to play their life quite carefully here because it's important. Number 7 here will be grabbing the flag, and something you can try out here that's like a fun little practice. If you have really good teamwork, at least, you can actually get right to the front of this platform and toss the flag all the way to the other side. And then number 6 can go ahead, pick up this flag, and then run across into Green Hall with the flag. I'm going to grab the arrow here on accident. Here we go. He'll be running the flag right through the Green Hall here. I'm sorry, not Long Hall. Green Hall right through here. Now it's these guys' job, of course, to stop these spawners from being able to overextend back to their side, right? You're trying to prevent these guys by going through runway or needles. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this number 5 player. His job is to stay alive. Of course, make sure that there's no people getting through the runway. And basically that's a free flag run. If you can pull that off, should be very easy to just quickly jump through. If you're getting pressured too much, if this number 5 player dies, it's very easy to just quickly reroute and go through the long haul instead. It takes a bit longer, but it's a little bit safer because you're not going to be pressured so fast from these guys through these players through needles if you lose your number 5 player here. So I'm going to quickly jump into the game. I'm going to specifically be showing this number 5's position. Alrighty, and here we are on the enemy team's side sword, and I am in the number position of the 5 player I was showing you, and hopefully you guys are going to understand a little bit better why this player's position is so crucial. The first and most obvious, right, is that the enemy team will be spawning this courtyard here. Their fastest route to get to your side is through the runway right underneath where you're standing. So your job is to basically prevent those players from easily taking over their training side here or their sword or just overextending through the runway. Now initially, of course, while the enemy players are dead and they're off a respawn and your team is pushing through to their first to grab the flag, you need to be paying close attention to your scoreboard here, checking and making sure that you are not going to overextend and look at this spawn as they're spawning up, right? Because if you happen to look this way or even just glance at it right here, aim down sights, shoot, throw grenades, anything to do with this area as they're spawning. Like I said, you could flip that spawn. They could spawn Mauler right behind your teammate trying to run the flag. Or worst case scenario, if they're blocking all 3 spawns, they could spawn runway underneath you and quickly overextend. So we don't want that. So again, we're making sure all 4 players have respawned first. Now we can check their courtyard, put some shots in, put some damage in. Hopefully they're distracted, already trying to shoot your flag runner and your teammate in their training side right now. So usually you're not going to have too much pressure. You can get some shots as they're distracted, back down quickly if you're taking too much damage, slowly transition over to your side here as you're getting your shields back. You'll be full shields again by the time you get back over here, and then you can clean up anybody that's happened to make it through runway or is trying to push into your training. You are the bodyguard for this whole other side of the map, making sure they can't get through for free, making sure that your team can successfully capture that flag, right? And of course, rely on your teammate inside the needles. Both of you need to work together, watching each other's back. Don't let them just run up into needles and kill your teammate for free. You know, hold your ground. Also, don't forget there's a shotgun here. You know, this is a wonderful weapon to have in this position. That way you can kind of force them to have to push you inside their sword. And anytime they get in these close range fights, you know, this shotgun is going to be extremely effective. So you make yourself a very difficult kill inside the sword with a shotgun, and you're basically going to all but ensure that your team is going to get that flag and cap it. So alrighty guys, that will do it from me. This has been a quick breakdown of pit flag or Empyrean flag here, how you can get the flag quickly through the Green Hall with a 4-man setup. I hope you guys found this useful. You're going to be catching me in the Clutch Academy. I do coaching. Come and find me. We can go in more in depth. We're going to go through all the maps together, and I'm excited to be working with you very soon. I hope you guys have a great tournament, and talk to you later.